Yeah.
Okay. Okay. In yesterday's class, we saw like how to retrieve the object, result set object, and then how to iterate through and how to display things, right? So,
Yes. Yeah.
what have exactly been happens is like consider as an example in the table, three records are there. Three records are made as a single result set object.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and here our duty is we need to go through iterate through this result set object and make it to be display the data. That's what our duty. That's only I'm writing some while loop and make it to be display. It's just like an collection object how it, right? If the data
Mm-hmm.
we stored in the collection object, if we want to display it, then iterate through either the enumeration or some other iterator, right? In the same way here I'm using the while loop just like that. Okay. um Actually, to speak, for example, let me go here and see DESAENT. If you see, e number is of type number and e name is of type varchar. Means two different types of data types right here. But when you come and observe it here, I'm trying to access both by using get string of e number and get string of e name. Actually, to speak by default, what happens is like whenever the records are fetching, it is going to typecast from, for example, this case, consider this case, rs.getString. Okay, e number actually to speak, it is of type number, means integer kind. But here I'm trying to access by using a string, right? Get string. So internally, what happens is like it's going to do the typecasting from the integer to string, and then it's going to show you the results. But uh, in terms of performance wise, this is not a recommendable one because it has to do the typecasting right every time for every column. For example, many records are there. If we are having the single record, there will be no performance issue. For example, if you have multiple records and multiple times you need to access,
Yeah.
in those cases performance will be a great problem. So that's the reason they provided one solution for us, saying like try to get the data according to the data
Okay.
type.
Do we have get integer?
Exactly. Here
So
we're
it's going.
having the
Okay.
int, means it is going to get match now. E number actually to speak there it is number. The matching thing in our Java is get int. So there is no typecasting is
Mm-hmm.
required to access this. Let us go and see. Yes, I can able to retrieve the data. 132 for first three records like this. First record, second
So get
record, and
string
third.
can convert anything, right? It can be number. It can be anything, right?
Exactly, exactly. Let me show. By default, actually we can use the string get string. We can use for any. But if you really be
Okay.
considers performance as a matter, then go accordingly. If it is a string varchar, then get string is okay. If it is a consider my data type is a date. Here I
Mm-hmm.
have taken another column. It is a date. It is going to store some last modified date or first modified date or creation date, whatever it is, kind of a date column is there.
Mm-hmm.
If that is the
Okay.
case, then I can able to use get date function. Then I need to provide the column name. For example, last modified date is my column name. Then like this. Consider there it is like numbers are like floating type. Then I can able to use get float of. We need to pass the column name, or we can use get long if the number is of type long. Means as a developer, actually to speak, like what is a kind of a database and how perfectly it fits for. Based upon that, you can able to take a decision here, whether it is an integer or long or whatever it is. We are having appropriate methods present here. Our duty is just access correctly. That's what we need to do. Okay, right now I'm having only the two columns, that is number and varchar2. I am trying to matching correctly first one as a get int e number and second one as a get string e name. E name is of type varchar, right? Some matching thing is like a string. You're clear about this?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go to the next kind, that is, in general, normal blind way is like just use the get string method. That's the blind method.
It's
I mean,
for everything.
for everything.
Okay.
If you don't know the data type also, then it is going to do the typecasting internally and going to show you the results for you. That's a blind thing. Or otherwise, if you want
Oh,
exactly
you see, if
perfect
you are
match,
not sure like what is the data type, you can go for that.
yes. If you know perfectly, then go to the get date, get float, or get long. If you know what are the columns and their data types, if you know perfectly and their size and everything, then better to go for a date or float or long or get int or whatever matching thing correctly. Okay.
Okay.
And third way, there is a third way is there we can able to access these data, that is by using the index of the column number like this 1 and 2. Let us try to see the results. Yes, data is displaying. How? Yes, get it of 1. 1 means it will go and look into the first column number 1, which is the first column
Mm-hmm.
e number. And here I am giving as a 2, get string of 2. 2 means nothing but what? It is going to look for the second column, that is e name column. Okay, instead of giving the
Okay.
column name, we can give the index number, means column number also.
What if I use like get int if I have a string there?
It's okay. In general, we can convert any data type into a string, but string to another data type, no, no, it may not be, because if you see, observe clearly, in string class there is a function called toString.
Okay. Yeah.
But do we have any such in integer type and float type? No, right?
We have what we call like integer class string
Yes, classes are there. Let me show you one thing. String.
wrapper classes.
Yeah, wrapper classes are there. That's a different concept. But why the string is perfectly been matching is a different here. That's where we need to concentrate. Let me put this. Yeah. Now let me go and search for toString. Yes. Do you have any method like a toString?
No.
No, no, no. See, in the string class, yes, there is a method called toString.
Oh yeah. To string.
Yes, toString is the method. The purpose of this toString is convert any data type into a string format. Internally, for example, it will convert accordingly. In any case, if it is not getting converted, then at that time it is going to use the method toString, means convert that particular data type into a string kind. That kind of facility is there in string class, but I don't think so. Such kind are present in integer wrapper class. Whatever you are saying, let us go and see integer API. Because when we start learning the Java, we will start with the strings only. Knowingly or unknowingly, many times we are trying to display the integer values in system.out.println, if you observe clearly,
Yeah.
right?
Correct.
In those cases, actually to speak, sysouts, I mean system.out.println will accept only the strings, not the integers or whatever it is. So internally it is going to apply the toString method for those integer. That's why only you are not able to see any bugs or errors. Okay, this is a kind of a depth concept internally, how the JVM
Mm-hmm.
considers the things and all. See here,
Okay.
do we have any such method like toString, like to integer like that? No.
We have get string
Where in this one?
get integer.
This is a different one.
It is taking string. Okay.
It's not like so. String is a kind of a global object because people will consider it's like from starting of their Java, they'll start learning everything in terms of strings. So that's the reason they provided to string method only in a string class. They didn't provide any such kind of methods in wrapper classes. I mean, other wrapper classes.
Okay.
Okay, if you have any doubt, we'll try to do in the same way. What is the problem here? Failed to convert
Internal
internal representation.
representation.
Hmm. Meaning here, see the second one. Second column, actually to speak, it is of type varchar, but I am
String.
trying to access by
Yeah.
using get int.
Integer.
So typecasting may not work from string to integer, but integer to string will be available because string class is having some extra facility called to string. That's something it is going to allowing you. So other methods like get int, get float may not work like that.
Get string internally uses toString, but get integer will not use.
Will not use. I mean, to integer or to float, such kind of methods may not be present in those wrapper classes. That's if only internal conversion is not possible.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
Just in general, if we observe, if there is a string, okay, we can display it. There is a number, then also we can convert that as a string and we can able to display it. Okay, consider there is a
Mm.
number is there. Try to convert that number as a string. That is a, like thinking wise itself, it's a wrong. That's
Yeah.
why actually to
Correct.
speak, it is not allowing you. Okay, so total there were like a
Yeah,
three
because
ways.
if you make like integer in a double quotes, it will be string, but you cannot make the integer to string, like string to integer.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So totally we were having the three ways that we can able to access the result set object, right? First one is get string blindly. If you don't know the column names and everything, just go for a get string. Internally, it is going to do the typecasting and make it that object to be available in UI. Okay, but that is not recommendable one because performance wise it is like a degradable. So go. It's not good to go for with performance wise. That's definitely they suggested for us use the appropriate methods to access those data types. For example, if it is a number data type in database, then use the get int if it is fits for integer type. Then if it is fits for long type, for example, number 10 comma 2 means or like 2 comma 10 like precision values are there, then they'll ask like go for a get float like that. And if you feel like number is very long, then go for a long then then go for a long get long like that. And if it is a data type is a date in the database, then here use the get date method. Means they provided the appropriate methods to access so that no need to do the typecasting internally and it will be good at. That's the second way. And third way is like by using the column number. Column numbers should start with one here. Don't think it will be like 0 1 like that. Here one only. First column means one,
Mm.
one,
Okay.
and second column means two. In most of the cases, actually to speak in Java, everything they consider it as zero from zero, zero, 1, 2, 3 like that. Here not the case, it starts with one.
Yeah, even array starts with 0.
That's the problem. Yeah. This one and prepared statement both will consider one only. I think in 3 years back in an interview, one guy has asked this kind of a question.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever we're trying to write the program, why you are considering as a one, why don't you put as a zero? That's what the question he asked me. And he made me to confuse myself.
In which scenario?
Like he asked me to write one simple select query to display the data on UI
Okay.
by using JDBC. That's what he asked me, and I tried to
Okay.
wrote this, and that time he tried to confuse me. That's in general, that's a duty of the their intention. They need to confuse,
Yeah, correct.
but we should not be confused. We should stick with our correct answer, right?
Yeah, because that is Java, this is database,
Huh. Okay,
right?
then
That's the answer.
no, we should not give it like that. The syntax is like that. That's a better answer. Okay. syntax is like that. You should say like that. We should not say like that's a Java, that's a database like that. Okay, syntax is like that.
Okay. Okay.
And 1 year back, I think so, when we were working with one project, um, it's a student project actually to speak. At that time, they are using one prepared statement to display the things. Um, my colleague was like, from past 1 week, he was like, getting one exception, but he was unable to figure out where is the problem, where is the problem. He was like, keep on bugging himself and checking inside. And suddenly, when I went there, I asked him, what's the problem? He said, like, yeah, this is the cause. Okay, I looked at and I said, like, hey, man, you're starting with the column of 0. It is not possible with the prepared statement. Start with 1. He do it. That
Okay.
then it started working. Because sometimes
Hmm.
because Oracle also will never gives the perfect exception. It's going to give different kind of exception that you may not match it correctly.
Understand.
So these kind of problems will also be there sometimes. That's the reason I am
Yes. Yeah, good
explicitly
to
saying.
know. Yeah. Even we might not know, what kind of error we get, but sometimes we don't understand.
Exactly. Irrelevant exceptions sometimes we may get. We need to make it to be like understandable things.
Yeah. Got it.
And okay. So if you are good at next, we'll go to the next topic. That is, till now we read the data only in one direction. That is forward only, and we didn't get a chance to, look into a reverse direction. Means previous. If I want to see the previous record, just like a next, for example, next is the one, it is only one direction, that is
Mhm.
forward direction. If we want to see the previous record, then I can able to use the method called previous in place of
Okay.
this
Okay.
rs.
Like it will come from bottom.
No, it depends. For example, um, previous will never come from bottom, but the thing is like, um, how the pointer is moving. For example, my pointer is moved from by default. By default, consider, oh shit, my pointer is there at here. Okay, and by using the next method like this up to here. Okay, then I got to know
Yeah.
that I should read this record too. Then I need to move this record from here to here. Then I can be able to use the previous.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Okay.
let us try to do the same way. Will it work or not? Will it throw any exceptions? Let us see. First, rs.next.
Okay.
When we do the rs.next for first time, what happens?
It will go to the next record.
X actual to speak, it will be
First
some
record. First
output.
record.
Yes, when we execute
Yeah.
first time rs.next, it will come to the first record. All right, let me try to
Yeah.
execute the next time rs dot next. Now this
It
is
will be a
at,
second record.
yes, it will be a second record now. Now if I want to see the first record,
Hmm.
let me try to use the
Previous.
rs dot, yes, previous. Hey, it is throwing some error. Let us see, invalid operation for forward
Okay.
only result set. Means you're trying to apply the previous, but the result set kind is forward only. Then how to fix this? Yes, they said like by default, create statement will be with empty parameters. Means you're not going to pass anything. If that is the case, then that is called forward only. Okay. If I want to make it as a bidirectional, then we need to use the up. We need to pass the appropriate constants to this as to this one to create statement. Let us try to use result set. Result set is having some constant. If you observe clearly, I will show you. Go to the result set object. Sorry, not result set, right? It is a statement object. Okay, go to the result set and try to see the, do we have any constants here? Yes, we have multiple constants are there. Close cursors at commit, conquer read only, conquer updatable, fetch forward, fetch reverse, okay, and fetch unknown, some diff scroll insensitive, scroll sensitive. Okay, let me try to use some of them at here so that I can make it. Type scroll sensitive so that if is there an update in the database also it will affect if I use this parameter. Then conquer read only, just it is for reading. Let us try to execute this program now. Yes, I can able to. Means we need to provide some extra configuration to the create statement so that it will work for both direction.
What is this meant by like sensitive?
Yes, I will explain what is this. Okay, there were actually to speak two kinds of parameters are there available in the first parameter here. Actually to speak three are there: type forward only, type scroll sensitive, and type scroll insensitive. Okay, and type forward only is by default it is going to apply. I mean, if you are not passing any parameters at here for this create statement, then that is type forward only. Okay, so that we can able to use rs.next. Okay,
Okay.
and the second parameter is type scroll insensitive. Then what actually it does, for example, just give me a minute, let me take some more. Sorry. Okay, consider I'm using type scroll insensitive at here. Just come back to this place. Type scroll insensitive. Yes, this is the one. Okay, this is another time. Type scroll insensitive is nothing but, for example, 1,000 records are there here.
Okay.
Okay, whenever you are trying to fetch those 1,000 records, unknowingly, some 20th record got updated by using some operation. It got updated. Okay,
Okay.
if I use a type scroll insensitive, then it will not get the latest record. Whatever the old record is there, it is going to use the buffer and take the old record and it's going to display to you. If I put the type scroll insensitive.
I didn't get.
Okay, consider 20 records are there. Okay,
Okay.
20 records are there. Whenever you applied this operation, statement.execute query, what it is going to do, it is going to get the result set object and it will be kept at the heap area only. Okay,
Okay.
and we are going to iterate through by using rs.next and it will display the data
Yeah.
in general, right? Consider in the 20
Yeah.
records, while you are okay, while this operation is happening itself, someone has updated some 11th record.
Okay.
Okay, but you may not get the latest updated 11th record. You may get the old record only.
Oh, because you already have that in buffer.
Yes, as because I'm applying insensitive, then it is going to take whatever it is there in the buffer only. It is not go and fetch the
Buffer
latest
only.
one.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
if I want the latest one, then I need to use type scroll sensitive. Then just a minute. Yeah, if I use type scroll sensitive, then it is going to fetch the latest record from the database. For example, while iterating, suddenly one 11th record got updated. Still, we can able to manage to get the latest record from the database because it is type scroll sensitive.
So it won't get the at a time and keep in the buffer, right? It will be still, it will
It
point
will
into
be
the database
no, no, no.
only.
It will be there in the database, but still it tries to compare the with the database cross comparison.
Okay, okay, okay. Got it.
Every record is going to do the cross comparison. It's going to make it to be display.
Okay.
Okay, and yeah, the second parameter. Okay, second parameter here I have used conquer read only means just we can read the data. You don't have any authority to update the record from here to there. I mean from Java to database.
Okay.
Mean when you got the result set object, I mean you already executed some query and you got the record from the database. Okay, I mean it will be there in the buffer with our Java, I mean with our JVM. Okay, now in this case it is just only reading, just to read the data, that's it. Don't do any update operation. In case, for
Mm-hmm.
example, if I applied conquer updatable, then what happens is like I got a permission to update the record also in the database. Okay, how it
So
functions, right?
if let's say I have a question, like if I use like a read only there,
Okay.
and I try to use the update method, statement update.
Mm-hmm. No, no, it's not like that. Actually, to speak, conquer update will works like this: rs dot column index. I'm trying to update the second column now. There I can able to give some like this. Don't go in depth, just I will explain it like this. Now see here, observe clearly. I have executed the rs.next for twice, right? rs.next and rs.next. Now my
Mm-hmm.
record is where? Here in this place. Means it is
Second. Yeah.
showing the second record, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now if you try to apply rs.update string, then it is the column number, it will go to the second column. Means we got filter exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The second column means we are, means you're like pointing to this field perfectly to speak. Second row and second column. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now if you try to update, then it will be get updated. BBB will get updated with Durga.
Durga.
Yes, if I want to get such kind of a permissions, actually to speak, from where I'm actually updating, from result set I'm updating, right?
Yes.
Here this is a normal case, statement dot execute query update whatever it is, the record from here, that's a normal case, right?
But result set will be pointed to the buffer, right? Database buffer.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It will be there in the buffer only, but when I apply the update string, then what happens is like it is going to do the reverse operation. Means instead of reading, it is going to apply the latest changes from Java to database.
Okay.
But actually to speak, this is not recommendable to use in applications because these are going to degrade the performance.
Yeah, because you are retrieving on the same time you're updating.
Updating the record, whichever it is got matched, and I'm trying to update, but this is not a recommendable one. If you want to do such kind of an operation, try to execute the select query, figure out the latest record, and again go to the again go to the statement dot execute query. There it is apply the update string, update method query, update table name set is equal to some column name is equal to xyz and where. That's the way that you need to do the operation. This is not a recommended one because it is going to degrade the
Okay.
performance.
Mm-hmm.
Let us come back here. Okay, now just think for this only, for this program only. So as per the current program, what we need to do, we need to read the previous record. That's what our duty. Okay, for this, what are the parameters that we need to pass at here? To result set dot type scroll sensitive, so that it will fetch the latest record, and result set dot concurrent updatable, it's not required anyway. Set dot concurrent read only is enough to use the previous method. If I apply as like this, then try to go and execute now this program. Yes, what happened? rs.next means it will come to the second position, and I used rs.previous. So again, it will go back to this position and it
First,
is displaying.
yeah.
You are clear with this? I mean,
Yes, yeah, I'm clear.
previous method, yes. Then, okay, we'll go to the next one. We are having some update string, update row, some other methods are there, but actually to speak, these are not recommendable, first of all. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
these are not
Okay.
all been recommendable to see. If I want to use, if I want to display the third record from the database, then I can able to use the absolute also. I think it's going to throw an error. Yes, it's working. See, actually to speak, come here, the table structure is a little bit different. Observe things clearly. First record, second record, and
Second.
third record. Okay, first,
Mm-hmm.
second, and third. I'm trying to see the third record only. I don't want to use any rs.next, rs.previous. I don't want to iterate through. Just I want to see the third record. That's it. Then if that is the case, I can able to use
Okay.
rs.absolute. Absolute method is the one which
Yeah,
displays the, if you give the proper index number of the record, then it will display accordingly.
but it won't be useful, right, in real time
No, it won't be.
because we don't know which index, which row.
For example, 1 lakh records are there. If I want the 99,000 record, then how can I? What is the data?
Yeah,
How can I
correct.
get to know such kind of information?
Right.
That is not recommendable one.
Okay.
And we're having some methods, other methods also, update string, update row. Okay, try as your homework. Okay, come back to me.
Yeah.
What kind of an exception that you're getting?
Sure.
Okay, I think it won't work directly. That there you need to use some your intelligence to make it to be work. Okay, means
Okay.
what kinds of
Some
constant
kind
that
of
your
changes,
path,
which some kind of,
yes,
yeah.
what kinds of constant that you are using may depend. For example, if you use the conquer updatable, then it will allow you. If it is
Hmm.
conquer read only, it may not allow you to update the string. I mean, update from result set to the database. That may not be possible. Okay, okay. Try for that kind
Okay.
of a program and come back to me. What kind of errors that you got?
Okay. Sure.
Yes. Okay, now we are we are done with this statement in. Okay, till now you have any doubts in this statement? I mean, this is the statement
Uh, no,
activity.
I don't have.
Okay,
I'm good.
we're having the three kinds. One is a statement, prepared statement, and callable statement. These are the three ways that we are using to fetch the data from the database. Okay,
Okay.
and till now we looked at only statement. Now let's start learning from the prepared statement. Let me remove all these. So prepared statement is also an interface, just like a statement object. Okay, prepare statement is also is just like a statement, but it is having some extra functionalities than statement. That's why it got more popular than the statement object. Consider my project is a very simple project, then I will go and choose the statement. But if my project is a little bit more complex and it is like very big application, then I will go for the prepared statement. Let us see one simple program with prepared statement. Here, observe the things. Previously, I used to pass the query only for execute update or execute query. If you see the statement class, there I am passing the insert operation or update operation or delete operation or select operation, whatever it is. Then I am passing
To the execute query.
exactly. I am passing to the execute query. But actually, to speak
And
here in the prepare statement, I am passing it to while calling the
prepare
prepare
statement
statement itself. Exactly. Just here, I'm calling execute update. That's it. I'm not passing any extra parameters out here. Let me try to save this, execute this program. Yes, it got updated. Let me go and see the records. Yes, one yeah. Second record is there, third record 4 DDD. That's what right now we inserted, right? 4 DDD.
mm-hmm.
Okay. See here, do you feel any difference between the statement and prepared statement? Only the
Yeah,
placing
prepare
of the,
statement.
yeah, yes, please.
Yeah, in prepare statement we didn't use execute update,
Mm-hmm.
and while creating a statement object, we either we did not pass any arguments or we passed like a scrollable,
Hmm.
um,
Those kinds of
those
extra
things.
functionality will be there in the
Yeah,
normal statement, right? Here in the prepared
yeah,
statement, what I'm doing, I'm passing the query at the time of creating the prepared statement itself. That's the only difference that you found, right? And the time of updating there, I can able to do this. Just ps.execute update, then it will get updated automatically. Then if I say like, yes, in terms of performance wise, prepared statement is very good comparatively with the statement object. You say, okay, then how can I prove it? How can I know? I mean, it almost looks like the same, right? Yes.
yeah.
There is a difference. Prepared statement is the one, actually to speak, it accepts the values dynamically. Actually to speak, I have placed my records just statistically. I mean, just I have placed the records at here for DDD, 5, E, like that. No, I don't want to do like that. I want to put my parameters dynamically. That's what's kind of a program I'm looking for. Then how to do that? Yes, prepared statement will allow me to do such kind of an operation by using positional parameters. What are the positional parameters? Look like this. Question marks are the positional parameters. Okay. Now, first I have actual to speak. I'm not placing the records here. Instead, I'm using the positional parameters. Nothing but question marks that I'm putting at here. Okay. Now try to use like this pstmt dot set int index number starts with 1. Okay, and first column I am asking to add. First one is integer type, that's why I can able to put some 5, and then try to insert the second column also, pstmt dot set string. Oh, short. This is second column, that's why I'm doing using two here, and consider some EEE. This is how I want to insert. Okay, now try to save this, execute this. Yes, it got executed perfectly. Let me go to the program and see. Yes, 5EE got inserted. Now come back to this program and see what exactly been happening here. Okay, you are trying to use the insert operation. You are trying to do the insert operation at here. Instead of passing the values directly at here, I am passing the values in the next step. So for that, just for time being, I am replacing the values with the question marks. Okay, and then in the next step, I am trying to use the pstmt.set int or set string. How can I get to know say either it is a set int or set string, or how can I get to know? Simple. Whenever you are trying to write this statement, you should have an idea. For example, here you are trying to insert one integer number and string, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as it is a integer kind, that's the reason I'm using set int. Okay, and here I'm trying to place the string, or you can say varchar kind of an data. That's the reason I'm using set string at here. Then what is the purpose of this 1 and 2? 1 means first positional parameter, 2 means second positional parameter. Replace this. Okay, replace this first positional parameter with 5, and replace second positional parameter with EEE. Okay, the numbers are nothing but 1 or 2, nothing but first question mark and second question mark. Clear?
Okay,
Okay,
but I don't see any difference.
you don't see any difference exactly. Actually, to speak, you are going to compile it once. Okay, you are going to compile it once, and in future you are going to get, for example, if you are using the servlets kind of an application, just you are going to use request.get parameter, which comes dynamically, and try to place the values e number and e name. This is a kind of a one, actually to speak, which comes dynamically in real-time programs. If I want to place such kind of a things, then I have to use these prepared statement, because it will allow me to place the records dynamically. Okay, don't go in depth about what is this request get parameter and all. You will get to know about all these things when we start working with servlets. Okay, that time I will come back to
Okay,
this program and explain. Okay,
okay.
right now you got a simple picture, like how it works with the positional parameters. Okay.
Yeah, we are passing question marks in values.
Yes, let us try to do one thing. I am trying to update one record. Okay, let's try to see how the program looks like. Update emp set ename is equal to, in place of I am trying to put f. Okay, where I need to use
Mm-hmm.
the program, right? Where e number is equal to, not required, 5. Okay, this is what I am trying to execute. Instead of executing as like this, I am trying to replace the values with question marks.
Question.
Question mark and then second question mark. Now tell me how to write these PSTMTs. First one, first
Um,
question mark is of type
First set
ename is of type
strings. String.
exactly. So we need to use set string. Okay. Anyway, first it is first one, so I'm placing as like this. Now here actually to speak, I'm trying to place some f like this. Should use double quotes. Yes. And see the second question mark, it is of type enumber. Enumber means which one I need to use? Set?
Integer.
Yes,
Int.
set int 2 and means 2 means second column. So where enumber is equal to 5, right? That's the reason I am going to place it as like this and try to execute this program. Yes, it got updated. Let us go and see the fifth record in the database. Yes, in fifth record where e number is equal to 5, ename got updated from e to f.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay. We'll discuss about this prepared statement with more detail on tomorrow's class.
Okay.
And yes,